right, all right, all right. Hey, hey, yes, sir. Hello, 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 hello. How are you all doing? Welcome to this episode of the Football Trio. My name is Nico, and today I am joined by these two amazing folks who are always here, by the way. They're always here to give us their perspective on football and the action of the day. We're talking about the AFCON tournament currently going on in Ivory Coast. So, with me today, Tru3lion, the analyst. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm great. I'm great. Thank God it's Friday. Loving it.
Football analyst who sees it without beyond what we see on the field. Yeah, sees it outside of the 90 minutes we witness on the field. And he is joined by none other than Sir Ajab. Ajab, the football encyclopedia in human form. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Like Tru3lion said, thank God it's weekend.
It's a weekend, yes. Thank God it's Friday. We're excited. We're excited. The bookies all had it right. The bookies all had it right. Nigeria was going to go through at the expense of Angola, and they did not disappoint. The game was a tough one, but they did not disappoint. We are also going to talk about DRCongo and Guinea, the two folks that have already booked their places in the semifinals so far of this year's AFCON tournament, Nigeria and DRCongo. So, gentlemen, let's talk. Let's talk. How are you all doing?
Great, 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 great.
Are we feeling vindicated here? Because yesterday we all had Guinea beating DR
No,
Congo.
no,
I mean,
no, 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 no. I said I was all on Congo winning. Remember?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
had
That's
Congo
right. I
winning.
was
I had
just poking
Congo
the bed.
winning 100. I had Congo winning 100%.
100%. I was
Yeah.
poking the bed. Tru3lion had Guinea going through easily. So, Tru3lion, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling fine. Both teams were just poor. It's not because Congo was better than Guinea. It's just because Guinea made some amateurish mistakes. Even their goalkeeper made, a terrible mistake. That's why actually Congo won by default.
That's right. It almost looked like an easy game for Congo, even though Guinea was the first to score. But I think at the moment when Wisa finally got his goal, because I think that's the first goal he scored this tournament. He finally got the goal.
No, second.
Uh, it's
He
his second goal,
scored
yeah.
against
Okay,
Zambia the first day.
Zambia, that's right.
Mhm.
So his second goal, one that's a little more meaningful, because Zambia was an equalizer, yeah. So
Mhm.
this one was more meaningful. They were going ahead, and we've seen them tie games throughout, their journey, and I think that's
Mhm.
something you called out, Tru3lion. And how does that? I mean, what does that say? Do you think they have turned the corner here, and they're actually knowing that they're just two games away from holding a trophy in their hands? Maybe it's a
No,
different perspective for these players, no?
no, I think, as I said, yeah, as I just said, I think the two teams were actually very poor. It was hard to watch. The football was not that interesting. If you see
Mhm.
the goals that Congo scored, right? That second goal, the mistake by the defender, the player who just got onto the pitch when you're running behind, because it was not that dangerous, and he just ran into the player. It was a slight touch. The player went down. Penalty. Then the third goal also was from a free kick.
Mhm.
A free kick that was not even dangerous, but the positioning of the goalkeeper was awful. How do they score you a goal from that angle? It was just, two teams. As I said, Congo won by default, and I have to look who they play next round in order to say to think if they can go beyond
No,
semifinals or not.
they're playing who wins between Mali and Ivory Coast. That's
Mali
who
and
Congo
Ivory
is going to
Coast,
play.
yeah.
Oh yeah, then it's gonna be difficult. That's gonna be the end of the road for them.
You think? You think?
Oh
Because
yeah.
I mean, I think today
Oh, no,
Congo
no,
played.
I've watched them. I've watched them. Remember, yesterday I said that Guinea is gonna win, thinking that a guy like Girassi is gonna play. But Girassi did not actually start the game. I thought maybe he had recovered. So because if Guinea had all the three, but he did not play, then the mistakes, when you make such amateurish schoolboy defending mistakes and amateurish mistakes from the goalkeeper, then you don't deserve to be in the semifinals.
Okay,
But,
let's get Ajab in on this
yeah.
action here. Ajab, any
I had
thoughts?
Congo winning because I had watched both teams play for a little while, and I noticed Congo was a little mature and more purposeful than Guinea. I watched Guinea succeeded against Cameroon with 10 men, not because they were good at defending, but because Cameroon was awful. I watched Guinea play against Gambia. They did win 1-0. They didn't actually like dominate the game all through, even though they won the game 1-0 in the second half. Then against Senegal, Senegal beat them 2-0. You understand? Senegal beat them 2-0. So when I was giving my predictions yesterday, I had watched Congo play against Zambia. They came from behind to equalize against Zambia. They dominated the game, but they couldn't win. Against Morocco, they gave Morocco a run for their money. They had a good game against Morocco. Against Tanzania, it was shaky. I only watched the highlights. I didn't watch the game. I watched them play against Egypt. They were mature enough. They played. They had a good game. It wasn't like a brilliant game, but they had a good game against Egypt. It was a game where whoever made it to the quarterfinals deserved it. It was a game. It wasn't a game where Egypt was totally dominating the game. And then I see the way they play. They against Guinea, especially today when they played against Guinea. They played with a 4-3-3 system, but you had their wingers playing like a 3-5-2. Each time Guinea had the ball, you had Elia and Wissa playing like fullbacks. So it frustrated the wingers for Guinea. They could not make those crosses and all that. And then, if you see, even the goal Guinea scored, the penalty Guinea scored was also a schoolboy error from Bemba. He wasn't supposed to foul
Mhm.
Bayo. There was
Chancel.
no need. There was no need doing that. It was a schoolboy defending. All goes then the equalizer from Bemba. I wouldn't really say it was poor defending. So it happens, right? It was a flat game. It wasn't a game where we watched entertaining soccer. It was a flat game, but
Okay.
um,
So
Congo Congo showed that they were better off. They took advantage of the I won't say inexperienced or shaky
mhm.
team of Guinea. Win 3-1. They didn't win 2-1 or 1-0. They won 3-1 to show that I took advantage of your errors to punish you. So I think they deserve it to the semifinals based on who they played.
So I want to get in on this. I want to get in on this, Ajab. Just because I feel like Congo was able to rub shoulders with big time boys in the AFCON like Egypt and Morocco. Right? They came out of those games. They held their own basically. So what is to say about the level of growth and strength that the team has. I mean, they have not been. There are times when they've been electric, right? We've seen them play really good football. There are times when they've been, like you said, mature with it and been able to hold their own and say, "Look, we can punch with these guys." So, don't you think that's a good mix to set them up for a good let me say trip towards the finals here? Because I mean, I don't see Ivory Coast or Mali, any one of those actually stopping Congo at this point. Because I
Trulian, go ahead. Trulian, go ahead.
I think Congo playing a team like Ivory Coast
mhm.
would be the pressure would be on Ivory Coast. I think Congo playing a team like Mali. Mali will actually just walk through them because Mali is plays with high energy. They have better players. They have a better team. And remember, that's one of the team I said will be a dark horse in this tournament. So I
That's
believe they'll
correct.
have what it takes to actually beat Congo. However, when you watch Congo, because coming into this game, Congo are not won a game in 90 minutes.
Yes.
And today they won because Guinea came from the group of Cameroon. And when you watch now Guinea, now that I watch Guinea without a guy like Girassi playing in the tournament because he came in the 70th minute, they are a totally different team. Now, when I picked Guinea, I thought Girassi would actually start and that was fit to go. But unfortunately, he wasn't. But I think Congo has run their race, and I think the semifinals will be the end of them.
All right. That's good. Any thing to write home about the fact that Congo has how do you say it, they have this selection of players, like I pointed out, I kind of touched on this yesterday, this selection of players that are quite well rounded, right? Chancel Vemba, Marseille, Wisa, Brentford, Maswaku, Crystal Palace. So they have this good mix of young and old enough players that understand what football is about. I know that they have had those wranglings with some of their in their games where the attitude has not been right, somewhat with the fight against Morocco and things like that. But when you look at the team on paper, they do look like a good offing, no?
Yeah, Congo. I don't know if I'll say we're underrating or we're minimizing Congo. Let's not just focus on the players. The guy on the bench too looks like he knows what he's doing. Congo plays with two sitting midfielders, with Piquel and the other guy who plays for Nantes. I forgot the name, a very long name, Mutosami or something. They sit and then they just let, when
Sammy.
Guy Kakuta is the one who plays as the number 10, they just give him the freedom to move like he wants. Now that he's injured, they're using the guy who used to play as a winger, Bangola or something like that, the Jesse number
Mhm.
10 guy. He plays now like the number 10. So he roams about. He has two sitting midfielders. And the guy who's coaching Congo has been around for a while in African football. He's coached a few national teams in Africa. He's coached a few football clubs in Africa. He's even coached Cotton Sport of Garoua.
That's right.
So at least he knows something. He knows the demands of African football. That don't go there and try to be stylish and then you end up losing. He's just going probably. So Congo making it to the semifinals at this point is already a huge achievement. Like we normally say in football, where you don't have anything to lose, you play with less pressure. So whoever Congo is going to meet next should watch out because Congo is probably not comfortable. They're not like sit. Congo don't like sit behind and defend. But the problem is that the midfielders are not the very mobile midfielders where you could easily cut them, get them on the counter. And Chancel Bemba, he's not a technically skilled defender, but he's been awesome this AFCON. He's always on the right place. Besides the goal he caused today, the penalty which he gave, the cheap penalty he gave, I don't think he's actually put a wrong foot as a centre back today. He may not be skilled moving forward to give the passes, but I think they defend very well as a group. Like I mentioned, when you see them defending, you have their wingers. They play in a 4-3-3 system, but you have their wingers playing as wing backs. You have Elia playing on the right and Wissa playing on the left. They're helping the wing backs. They're helping Maswaku and Kalulu a lot.
No.
So let's not we're underrating them. Whoever is playing them next, be it Mali or Ivory Coast, it's not going to be a walk in the park like it's not been with any game in the AFCON.
That's
And the good
exactly
thing
right.
too about the AFCON, this AFCON, which we've always been saying, is about the goals. We're now getting to the final games tomorrow for the last eight. And there's been no 0-0 tie in the round of 16. So it's a good thing.
Okay.
Well,
Go ahead. Go
well,
ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, to throw in something, the game today that I just watched, Congo with Guinea, was in a walk in the park because I saw some mistakes that all the other teams that are actually in the semi-finals right now will not make this type of mistakes.
Okay.
So they will not be giving you this type of easy goals where you will just win it through. So
Okay.
I don't think that
So
game was
that's
fair.
that's
What?
that's clear.
Yes, it
That's
was
clear.
hard. It was hard to watch that second game for me.
Okay. Thanks, Tru3lion. That's clear there. So the it goes without saying that you were not too impressed with their presentation today or what they came up with today, but they still got the win, which moves them on to the final four, right?
Yeah, and most
Um,
people
and
most people have
and
not been impressed with Nigeria the whole tournament. They're also making it to
yeah,
the semi-finals. So
we're coming
that's
to
why
that.
we're going to keep doing that about teams, and then they're going to keep making it to the to the last four and maybe the final two. So it happens. Maybe it depends on your opponent. They might meet a good opponent, and then like I said, Congo played against Morocco. The way they played, you won't believe that they were playing. They had that confidence against Morocco. So they even missed the penalty against Morocco, and then they had the equalize, Silas equalize. So they're not as bad as we think.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, you get a bad day in the office some days, and then but they still got the result, right? That's what matters. And yes, Ajab, you touched on the Sab, who has been coaching all over Africa for some time. He's been all over Africa, like literally Tunisia. Yeah, when you look at his history there, but his career history, but that's really impressive that he has been able to work with this team and actually take them this far. I think this is the third time Congo is going to the semis of the AFCON. Um, so we should be careful. Some of these new teams that come in here, they smell blood and they're coming for it. Especially because those big boys we all thought we're going to be at this point are no longer there. When the big dog is not in the house, the young man starts feeling himself. So let's watch out for DR Congo. I just feel like there's something about this team. So, anyways, let's jump into some quick comments here before we go over and talk about Nigeria and their game today against Angola. I know a lot of people have already tipped Nigeria to win this tournament going forward. I also talked about the supercomputer that has predicted that they will be the winners of the tournament by 28% to the next person is like 14 or 16%. So all those things we'll touch on. But let's talk about let's say hi to our audience and some of the folks on the in the comments here. Ajab, Hafa, Nico, wait till the happen for your side. Well, we're on the football trio, bro. We're
Yeah,
doing
give
our
it. Thanks for checking.
thank you. We're on the football trio. We're chilling. Let me see. Thanks for representing Abakwa boys.
Yeah, he's
I
talking
think
about me.
that's
I'm
about
putting
your
on.
shirt.
I'm putting
Yeah, I
on the
think that's about your
P.
shirt,
Yeah,
Ajab.
the PWD
PWD.
jersey. I have it on.
Yeah,
About boy.
PWD,
Thanks.
my
Representing.
man. That's good. JC, our guy, he's always there, keeps the rendezvous all the time. Good evening, guys. Congo might not be playing very attractive football, but they are very effective. That's exactly what I think. And you can tell they always have a good game plan. Correct. They've approached games differently every single time. When they needed to play against Morocco like pros, they played against Morocco like pros. Morocco almost ran off with the ball in the first 10 minutes. That's why there was a fight at the end of the game. It hurt them to lose, to tie that game because they thought they were winning. Let's go to the next one. Ajab, exactly my point. Congo's coach has been in African football since 2010. The man always
No, he's
speaks often
he's,
speaks
he's
about
something
something
where something where
something we know.
he's JC and Rigobertson. He must try to
Wow.
bring in.
Okay.
He must try to
We
bring
have
in
to always take it back to song, eh?
an ounce of Rigobertson into the
All
thing.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Asongu says, "Hey, you guys changed your
Hello
background."
guys.
Yes, yes, we did. Thank you
Yeah, we
so
did.
much. I
We
hope
did.
you guys like it. I hope it doesn't look too weird, but I hope you guys like it. On Facebook, Tru3lion, you want to help me out with the comments there because I think I'm not actually logged on to
I
see it.
think Kizito Jan says I'm an ardent viewer, but I'm not sure why I get notification 30 minutes into the show. So he's getting late notifications. That's what he's saying.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's not good. Maybe something we can figure out at the end of the show. See what we can do to help. All right. Anything else, or that's it?
No, that's it. That's it. That's the only one.
At the end of okay, cool, cool, cool. Oh, Valerie Tefo, I'm following you guys. All right, let's go, guys. Let's get on it. So let's see here. Oh, he's back. Okay, let's talk Nigeria. Let's talk Nigeria's game. Um, this was a really interesting one because I think at the beginning of the game, I was thinking to myself, you know what, Angola can just figure out a way to knock Nigeria out. And of course, that would have given me a little bit of respite around my Nigerian friends, but that unfortunately didn't happen. So Nigeria is through to the round of four, the last four standing. And it's with great pride that I know my Nigerian brothers and sisters are jumping around talking at Demola Lukman. I think Ajab, you pointed out at Demola in the very first day, on the very first episode of this show when we were talking about the teams and who to watch out for in the tournament. I'm going to let you start off this segment because I know you're a huge fan of Nigeria. And what did you think about the game today? Because it did look like Nigeria
Yeah.
mean business.
Yeah, Nigeria didn't look. Angola, they had their good moments. They had one real chance where they created the ball and where they gave the pass and the number nine. Some people said that he rushed, that he would have had a second touch before trying to curl the ball. Some people say he curled it without completely turning his body, so that's why he hit the goalpost. That was like one of the chances that they created throughout the game. But like I said yesterday, I was even shocked when the game ended 1-0. I was expecting 2-0. Remember, I said 3-0 and then I switched it to 2-0. This has been one of the games when I think Nigeria has even been more comfortable in the middle of the field than every other game. I saw Iwobi and Onyeka imposing themselves. And then Nigeria, the other games, Nigeria barely created chances. They could create one or two chances and then they score one goal. But they actually create chances. You could see Onyeka and Iwobi playing one touch, one pass, then trying to link up with Moses Simon, who was, I think, undoubtedly the man of the match, Moses Simon. His touches, his dribbles, his everything. He was a workaholic on the pitch. And then you go to the back line, it's been business as usual. The guys are so organized and disciplined at the back with them, Trostekon giving the guys instructions like Thiago Silva does for Chelsea, even though he's not as skilled as Thiago Silva, but they've been very disciplined as a back. Calvin Bassey playing like he's not a human being. And then it goes to Ola Ona who he had an assignment. Like someone mentioned yesterday, you had them. It's going to be a good duel between Gilberto and Zaidu Sanusi, and then Gelson versus Ola,
I know.
and Gelson was lost. The game today, it was like Gelson was the one who was supposed to defend Ola instead of Ola defending. And Ola to me, like, it's been my when I did my team of the first round, he was my best right back, and I think to me he's still the best right back in the competition right now. So I think at the beginning of the competition, I thought Pesero was lacking, but it's like he knows what he's doing. He tried his offensive set up the first game, it didn't work. He switched to a back three where it's been working very effectively, and he's been approaching each game based on the way you play. When Cameroon is a team for long balls, he sets up the system compact to defend the long balls. Angola is a team that plays more on the ground and depends on the wingers. He also brings in defensive. He also brings in his defensive play to soak that wingers, and he knows if you're good at crossing, I have no problem with back line. Defending those crosses, and then Wabali is at the back goal, as is on the goal, commanding some confidence and his presence. This is his first tournament. And remember, he's 27. This is the first time he's actually been selected for Nigeria, but he's so confident and playing like he's been with the team for a very long time, you know? But I knew Nigeria was going to win Angola for sure. I knew Nigeria was going to win. Angola was going to try to play the game, but I knew Nigeria was going to win. Yeah,
All
I knew.
right. Let's
So
bring in True Lion here. True Lion. 1980, 1994, 2013. Nigeria has lifted the trophy. Can you confidently look at today's game and their performance and say the title favorites are still on course to making sure that this goes home to Lagos or Abuja with them?
I think today was one of the best games because they showed me that they could control the game without the ball, and that they could deny clear looks to a team like Angola that looked very comfortable on the ball. And Nigeria did not sit and let possession, just as they did against Cameroon. Today, we saw them play a high defensive line. We saw them even when they were doing a mid block. They were actually they had that four-man, something like a rectangle, in that midfield that denied Angola like space in the middle and forced them to go wide. That's why you see a player like Gelson who normally actually thrives in games struggled today. However, Angola also played. I think they played well. They had a strategy during corner kicks. You will see Gilberto go to the first goal, and then they actually had him as a target. So he was flicking the ball, and that's how the striker Mabelulu actually had that opportunity, which had he converted, then
Mhm.
it would have put pressure. So I think the difference in this game is that while Nigeria finished one of their opportunities that they had, Angola was not as clinical, and that's what actually killed them actually today, because they actually lacked that finishing touch. Of course, Ajab has talked about that opportunity by I think it's by Zizi, who was the first time in the game that we saw an Angolan player go beyond that five-man defensive line of Nigeria, and that he had that opportunity. Yes, of course, he could have taken the second touch to go deeper into the box and put his body in between the defender and the ball. But that touch also that he had, the curl inside the foot, it was just unfortunate that the ball, because the goalkeeper was beating, and but the ball actually crashed on the lower post and came out. So it was actually a great game by both teams, but unfortunately, Angola was not clinical enough.
And I mean, what's to say about Nwabili and Nigeria's keeper? Because I know before the tournament started, everybody was like, Nigeria doesn't have a good keeper. They don't have a very good defense. That was their biggest, I would say the point faible or whatever, their weakest point, their weakest link was always the goalkeeper. In every single preview of the AFCON that I looked at, everybody talked about their keeper or their defense. So, what is to say about the way they have handled it? Have they really been tested? Do you guys think? Because I think Nwabili faced two shots today, and then one of them, of course, crashed off the bar. The other one he was able to comfortably take. So I'm not sure. I mean, what do you guys think?
see,
Has Nigeria's defense been tested well at this tournament?
um, Tested well, I'll say yes. This is what's happening. When we had our first show here, even before the tournament started, I said
Mhm.
people were complaining about Nigeria's defense and keeper. I think you can complain about the keeper, who was Uzoho. Uzoho is the one who's been the keeper throughout for the last 2 3 years. Before Nwabali just came in. This is his first tournament, first selection. He plays
Mhm.
professional football in South Africa for Chupa United. Nobody expected it. Nigerians even had issues during the first game when he considered against Equatorial Guinea, which wasn't his fault. But they were like, okay, we've had Ozuo all through. The defenders have started to understand Ozuo. Why bring in a new person? But the coach had a reason for that. So my point is, what I was trying to say is that I don't think Nigeria has ever had defensive problems. They've had a keeper problem. And
Mhm.
now they have someone behind the back four or back five who they're confident, who the defenders are confident, and who also is very confident. So once you know the person behind you is that confident, it also boosts your confidence. That's what has happened in Nigeria recently. And then what is going on now with Nigeria is that Nwabali too has now responded to the confidence the defenders has given him by also stepping up his confidence. He's also good with the ball. Like his footwork is good. If you see when they give him the back passes and an attacker is coming towards him, he doesn't panic. He takes his time. He could give a long ball or he gives a short pass to the wingers or to the center back, which is very beautiful. So I think Nigeria has been tested. The defense has been tested because they won't even give you the chance to penetrate. Like Tru3lion said, this has been one time where you actually see an attacker get into the 18-meter box with a clear chance in front of the keeper ever since the tournament started for Nigeria. So he has been tested, but they won't give, they're so compact that they don't give you the chance to have. So once you have chances like that, maybe it's good you convert it because it may not come again. So if you want to ask me if they've been tested, I think they've been tested. This is the semifinals already. So if you don't, they're making it to the semifinals. So if they haven't been tested until the semifinals, then maybe we're going to wait for the finals, semifinals, and finals for them to be tested. But I think they've been tested reasonably so far.
Okay.
I think, yeah. If you ask the question, have they been tested? Now, for the remaining teams, right? You see, they have played. They beat Ivory Coast 1-0. They are yet to play maybe teams like South Africa and other. But when you look at the striking force of the other teams, you don't see a standout striker that really, has the pace. Because if you watch Nigeria today, defensively, they played high because they knew that Angola does not have the pace that can outrun them. And defensively, Nigeria plays with five defenders. And when you look at them, they are gelling into to something good because they have finally found how they should play. Before coming into the African Nations Cup, they were more of an attacking team. So that exposed them because if you see a player like Iwobi or Onyeka that plays with him, they are not really good, like central defensive, but they complement each other. One sits and the other is a good playmaker on the ball. So if you use those type of players and play offensive type of football, you get exposed. But now the coach has found a system where Nigeria can actually play three central defenders, two wing backs that come and defend and help, and the spaces are really tight. So that's why most teams have found it difficult to actually have shots on target. Teams that are not really creative, well, they played Cameroon, and we saw what happened. Cameroon did not have any shot on target. However, their goalkeeper is just doing, I think he's doing the minimum. That's what is being asked of him. No one is asking him to be like maybe an Onana. Yeah, yes, Onana, one of the best goalkeepers in Africa. But he's just doing the minimum that is taking Nigeria over the board. I don't think he's actually the solution to Nigeria moving forward because I've seen him catch. He doesn't impress me.
Yeah. Stephen Wabili has three clean sheets in the tournament so far. I think he's
Stanley,
rivaled by
Stanley,
South
Stanley,
three.
Stanley, Stanley, Wabali, Stanley,
Stanley Nwabili. What did I say? Stephen?
Stephen,
Oh,
Stephen.
Steven, you said
sorry.
Steven.
Stanley Nwabili has three uh, uh, clean sheets. Save percentage is 90.9, so that has him rated higher than even South Africa's keeper, who has also three clean sheets but has a save percentage of 83.3. So it looks like he, the stats are saying he's up there, even though everybody thought he could be Nigeria's weakest link. Okay, so that's aside. That aside, could we attribute today's win, Nigeria's win today, to the fact that Angola didn't really show up?
Oh
or,
no,
or
no,
is it
no.
Europe?
Angola, as I told you, believe me, before this game, I said Angola can upset Nigeria, and we actually saw why. I said that.
Yeah.
Well, Gibson did not actually show up, but had Angola taking their chances, because there are two good chances in this game.
Yep.
Two good chances in this game. And when you come to this stage where you don't have as many good looks against Nigeria, because guess what? Nigeria is defending five of them. Five. So remember when Mourinho does that, they say he's packing the bus. So Nigeria is basically packing the bus. You see what I'm saying? So you're not getting enough shots. The one good thing with Nigeria is that they're playing too narrow with Moses and Lukman, and those guys are fast.
Yeah.
So when they hit you, look at the goal they score. When they hit you on the counter, they are dangerous. But believe me, Angola played some good football. I was on the edge of my seat. I watched the way Angola played. They have some good footballers,
Which
really
is
good
fun.
footballers. Yep.
Which is fun. So let's see. There's a couple of comments here about the game, Nigeria, Angola. JC, well, actually, let me start with Asongu. Asongu says, you know, I'm getting a bit scared of Nigeria, of Niger. They are very disciplined, which is very true. We've touched on that. Angola and Nigeria was a very good game. Angola lost due to inexperience. Nigeria played today like an improved team, which is something I pointed out to Ajab. Ajab, Angola had two good chances, true. One hit the crossbar, yeah, the goalpost, and one was a cross in the first half, true. JC also says Nigeria is now looking like the real deal. I see them as strong favorites. I would prefer any of the underdogs to leave the trophy, though. I pray any other team wins as long as it is not Nigeria or Ivory Coast. That list is fast dwindling, brother. That list is fast reducing. We now have to keep our fingers crossed on that one. And then the last one by Njankizito, Ola Aina, I think that's what he meant, is a treasure to watch. He's imposed
Yep.
himself perfectly well in the defensive line. I'm just baffled. Like this guy plays for Nottingham Forest, right?
And he's
And
good.
I've not, yeah, I've seen him do some work, but I've not really been that impressed. But I saw it throughout this tournament. It's like the guy has come to like he has really stepped in there, and like
Yep.
this is my
No,
thing, and he's doing it.
it's just because when you play for a team like Nottingham Forest, that's mostly like a lower tier in the EPL,
Mhm.
you are not in a position to really express yourself. You have to always play as a unit. It's one
Oh
two
yeah,
touch
yeah.
football. You
Ola,
you
yeah.
you are not in a position to dominate others. So that's
Mhm.
one thing that we fail to understand as well.
Yeah, Ola and he's a graduate of the Chelsea Academy. He's been winning like most of those youth European Champion Leagues. He's won it. Even with when Chelsea won the championship in 2016, 2017, he had a medal because he played a few games with Chelsea and then they sent him to Italy before he came back. So he's been around for a little while. He's played with some of those top players. So if you watch the way Ola is playing as a wing back or a right back, there's so much confidence in his game. The only time he kicks the ball away is when he has to kick the ball away. I was watching the game actually. I watched Nigeria game with one of my Nigerian friends, some guy I know who is Nigerian, and he made fun of Cameroon because he said everybody, and somebody also commented here about it, I think Asongu. He said everybody in Nigeria plays well except the left back. That the left back is supposed to play for Cameroon. That's what he said. Yeah. so so yeah, so yeah, that was so mean, but what could I do? So
And
Wow.
then
yeah,
guess what? Guess what some will do to the confidence of the left
Oh
back.
my God. Oh my God. There we go. Let's start
no,
talking about
yeah,
song
but like
again.
I said, like you asked the question if Nigeria won because I'm sorry, Angola didn't show up.
Okay.
Sometimes most times we fail to commend the winning team because probably we're fans of the losing team. So when the team we're cheering for lose, we're like they didn't play well. Sometimes they play well, but just that the winning team played better. So we just tend to say they didn't show up or they didn't play well. Angola actually played well. Nigeria played better. That's what happened today.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense to me. So Nigeria played well, but their star man still didn't get in there, get in the net. Actually,
Yeah,
he did, but he was offside.
and he missed.
Um,
Yeah,
So his number of big chances missed keeps going up. What's to say of Victor Osimhen? He's starting to look like a $65 million striker instead of the $150 million striker that
Yeah.
everybody's talking
At
about.
this point, the way Osimhen is playing, he wants Nigeria to win the AFCON. He doesn't want. He'll rather stay with one goal and Nigeria wins the AFCON than scoring seven and Nigeria ends up at third place or fourth place. If you see the way Osimhen play, he comes back, does all the defending. He's always coming back to play the hold up play like Harry Kane used to play at some point in Tottenham or Benzema plays sometimes for Real Madrid. If you see the way he's playing, he's not stagnant as a striker. And the way Nigeria is playing too, he's a little bit isolated. So right now, Pesera has succeeded in letting the team know that we're not playing for Osimhen, we're playing for Nigeria. Let's go win this cup. And Osimhen has come to terms to like, okay, I'm going to forget about scoring the goals or being the top scorer. Let my team win first. I will go back to Napoli and see how I could get my goals back to contest again for African player next year. So that's how I look at it.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Good.
let me look at some stats this year with Osimhen and Napoli.
Go for
He's
it.
not been scoring as many.
Yeah, he
He's
was
not been
injured.
scoring as many.
Yeah. And Napoli
Okay,
is not doing well as well too.
okay. Hold on. I'm opening my. I'm looking at my stats.
He's getting
I'm trying.
there.
Okay.
Uh, he missed a big chance against Cape Verde. That opener. You
No,
remember?
no. Equatorial Guinea, yeah.
Against Equatorial Guinea. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
on
yeah.
one with the keeper.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
one on one
So
with keeper.
yeah, I think Pesera must have chosen the right tactical
Strategy.
strategy because Oshimen, I don't think Oshimen is firing. He is not firing, and going defensive and hitting teams on the counter, that might just be the best strategy actually for Nigeria because Oshimen has left his scoring boots at home. I mean, we have to say it as we say it. How many games has he played? Four,
Five,
That's 4 games
five,
in this
five.
tournament. Yeah,
five
Yes.
games.
five
Yes.
games.
5 games, and he has one
One
chance.
goal.
One
Today,
goal. One goal, yeah.
one goal. Today, he had an opportunity. But
Mm-hmm.
my
He
man of the
slept.
match, nobody's talking about Gaspar. Gaspar had
Gaspar,
Oshimen in his
you?
pocket.
Gaspar is your man of match?
Yeah, Gaspar
Yeah.
had Oshimen
Okay.
in
I'll
his
give
pocket.
Gaspar five on
Yeah,
I
he
give him
pocketed
5 on 10.
Osimhen.
I give him five
No,
on 10 today.
no, even I just looked at it. Even Cap gave him man of the match.
Yeah,
He
but I don't
definitely
know.
has been better.
I'll give him 5 on 10.
Why is that?
His reactions were very, like I mentioned yesterday. I said Gaspar is very physical, but technically he was lacking. If you even watch the Nigerian goal, he was slow. He was slow in his anticipation when Moses stole the ball and gave the pass to
No,
Nicola.
no, no,
And it
no.
happened, and
Slow.
another, it happened about twice or three times in the first half of the game.
But
His
let me
his
ask you a
reading
question.
his reading of the game is poor. He could be good on one-to-one physical duels, but his reading of the game is not
No,
is
I am.
not
Let me
there.
ask you a question.
Okay.
You are looking at Moses Simon against Gaspar. Gaspar is 6'2". Moses Simon is fast. How many defenders can actually beat Moses Simon to that ball? Not many.
No, it wasn't a one. He poorly anticipated that ball. Sometimes, okay, okay. Let me see. Kevin Bassi is not a fast. It's not a fast. It's not a
No.
pacey
I'm talking
defender.
on that action. I'm talking on
Yeah,
that action because he was going up to the right to cover up. That's not his position. He was coming out to cover up because remember, Iwobi made a switch of play from one wing to the other.
yes,
So
yes.
he moved out to cover out because the right back was not there. Just go look at it again. So he was
No,
going to
I looked.
cover
I
up.
know. I watched it. That's what I'm saying. I watched it again.
Yeah.
Even I
Mhm.
watched the highlights of the game. Gaspar, the first half of the game, he was poor. He adjusted in the second half, just like the Cameroon guy did against Osimhen. He's good for the physical duels, but any duel that needs him to read the game, he's not good at it. Gaspar,
No,
trust
but
me.
the stats, and he was man of the match, and the stats actually show that he won 8 duels in this game alone. Gaspar was the one. He had a block from Oshimen in the second half. He had that block. He had other blocks in the first half. The one that the ball hit his head, and they had to call him
Yeah,
a
yeah,
medic.
yeah. The shot from Iwobi,
Exactly.
Iwobi, yeah.
Because other than the previous game that I watched, this game today, Gaspar was actually man of the match. He outplayed everybody on the field on the pitch. That's how good Gaspar was.
All right, and that's
I thought,
that.
okay.
Yes, I
I
mean,
thought Moses Simon was the man of the match. Besides I thought he was the man of the match. If you ask me,
So the thing about man of the match is it's a little weird. Everybody nowadays just picks their own man of the match. Every organization,
Oh
I
no,
think
but that's tough.
it's
What do you
like,
mean by
but then the
everybody?
official one where they give at the field, that's what we should be calling out, right?
But that's tough.
The- yeah, where CAF makes the decision and then they give the person the
Yeah, but
trophy.
that's what
So
I'm telling
let
you.
yeah,
Tough giving man of the match. Gasper is
man of
man
the
of the
match.
match.
That's right. So let's talk Osimhen some more. Let's talk Osimhen some more because I really want us to get this out of our systems. He yes, he did a lot of work in Nigeria's game against Cameroon. We could see that he actually was doing like pulling the defenders apart, confusing them with the way he was making his runs from in out out in, and allowing the fellow wingers to get in there in the box and do have all the action. And we actually applauded him for that even against Guinea-Bissau. The thing is when a striker who is worth $150 million, right? In today's market, you would expect him to get his chances and bury them. So far, he has missed five big clear chances. He's the one leading that chart in the stats column there. And what does that say? We know that you guys are make. I mean, you guys have explained, but I really want you guys to like see my point here because I'm thinking to myself, this guy is not worth that much money because this season he hasn't done it yet. He hasn't. Could it be
Yeah,
one of those things where he just had one really good season and everybody's talking about it and it's starting to get to his head, or what is it?
No, but
no,
Napoli is underperforming. It's not just Osimhen. Everyone in Napoli is playing below par. They've already sacked the coach. They've brought a new coach, and they're planning on
The coach.
sacking the new coach. So Napoli has a problem when they let Spalletti leave. Spalletti brought a different energy, a different way of football to Napoli. They won the championship, and then they didn't want to invest because Napoli is a team that they sell the players.
They
They
sell their
know
players,
maybe
yeah.
they have it at the back of the mind. I'll never win the Champions League, but I'll always try to finish top four to make it to the Champions League. So why should I keep that players where I could sell the players and make money? So it's been what's happened this season with Napoli. Sometimes you see, yeah, he's underperforming. Sorry, he's not playing as he did last season. But look at the team in general. Are there other players there who are better? Even the kid from Karish, he has a funny name, who was like the most assists last season. He also plays for Napoli, the winger. I forget his name, Karish or something like
Oh,
that.
Karispia, the guy, the bearded guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he too is under. Everyone in Napoli is underperforming this season, so it's just it happens. So, but the price tag is there. If you want the guy for the Laurentis doesn't joke. If you want him, pay that money.
Yeah,
If you
you
don't
gotta
want him,
pay. I hear
if you want
Chelsea
him,
is
if you can't pay
preparing
the
to pay.
money, it's up to you. That's what is happening.
Yeah,
So
yeah, Chelsea's
well,
preparing something in the summer.
well,
Two-Line,
this
getting on this. Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
well, this is what I'll say, right? I'm a big fan of Oshimen. I have cut him slack in the past, but this is a fifth game, right? So I cannot keep making
Sure.
excuses for him. As far as the price tag, yes, he's worth that amount of money because I've seen what he's done, and when I compare him to other players that get big money, there's not much of a difference. However, in this tournament, yes, Oshimen has been misfiring. He's had some great chances and
yeah,
he hasn't finished them. He
yeah,
hasn't put them in the back of the net. But don't get it misconstrued, right? The reason Nigeria is playing this type of football is because of Shimen's abilities. It's because of what he can do. It's because of what he does to the defense. And today he ran everywhere. He was everywhere. But guess what? My boy Gaspar had him in his pockets. You
but
see, so sometimes big strikers come into a game like this, and defenders also step up and show
okay.
that they can actually play. So today is because of Gaspar that Oshimen did not actually score. Because in the second half, if you go see, there was an opportunity where there was a 2-on-2 counter attack. The ball was played on to Oshimen. He had the goalkeeper at his mercy, but by the time he was striking, guess what? Gaspar had his
He
big
had
foot.
already caught up. Yeah.
The big
All
foot,
right.
the big foot. Gaspar wears like a twice size 13, 14. So he put it under size 13 and 14, and he was able to deny Oshimen to score his second goal of the tournament.
All right.
Yeah, that's true. Under
Cool.
normal
So
circumstances,
yeah, go ahead,
I
Ajab.
wanted to just say under normal circumstances, let's say worst case, Osimhen should be like 3 goals so far. Let's say he's been misfiring, he should be about 3 goals. One goal is not good enough, despite the role he's been playing for
Exactly. I was
Nigeria,
gonna say that
pulling up brother. That's
five games,
but
five
True
games,
Lion,
one
True
goal.
Lion, I
That's
just
a
checked.
problem.
I just checked.
Yes,
Anywhere.
I just checked. Total Energy's calf man of the match is Moses Simon, not
Oh,
Gaspar.
it is. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Are you serious?
yeah, it's Moses Simon. That one
Hold
man of the
on.
match, not Gaspar.
Nigeria versus Angola. Player of the match. I have a Demola. Look, man. Let me just check.
No, go
CAF.
to CAF. Go to CAF online. CAF. Go to
Yeah,
CAFonline.com.
CAF man of the match. I'm looking. Maswaku, definite man of the match for DRCongo, and Moses Simon. Yeah, Moses Simon,
Okay.
Nigeria.
Where did I see? Okay. Well,
Yeah, which
I'll
is
have to
very
agree with you
interesting.
guys.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. Like over here, like Ford Mob has Ademola Lookman as player of the match. So a couple of places always put their own ratings and put it together. So everybody, I mean, but yeah, officially, Moses Simon was man of the match. Thanks for bringing that back. And then Masuaku was also man of the match for the other game. Now let staying on this Oshiman thing, and of course let's segue into what I really wanted to point out in this by making this point. He got a chance today, but unfortunately, he was just a step offside. VAR made the right call there, bringing the goal back at a point when everybody thought Nigeria was going to be 2 up on the score. I mentioned VAR because I want to talk about the level of refereeing in this tournament. The AFCON this year has had impeccable refereeing. All VAR calls have been, almost seamless and very very on point. Do you guys see it as the technological advancements, of course, but the fact that there's been a lot of halubalu about VAR in European football, in Premier League, Spanish League, Italian League, all these leagues, the Champions League outside, and so CAF actually sat down, put together a group of folks who knew and understood the rules and they figured out all sorts of ways to make this thing work perfectly. Because man, VAR has done an amazing job. I don't remember a single game except Algeria's loudmouth complaining where people were complaining about VAR's calls. Because VAR has had every single call correct, at least by my judgment. What are your thoughts, guys?
There is a call that VAR did not pick up.
Sadio
That,
Mane.
huh?
Sadio Mane's foul
Yes,
against.
that's Sadio Mane's foul,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
also that Ivory Coast goal.
What about that goal?
I want you guys to go check it. I believe that Pepe was offside
No,
Really?
he wasn't.
because when what was the striker that the ball was played to? When that nine, the center forward, he touched the ball, but we could not bring it under control. As he touched that ball, Pepe was offside.
It's the center forward who gave the pass instead. It's Sebastian Haller who gave the pass to Pepe.
No, no. Remember, the pass came from the midfield. Okay.
No, from the side, it was a 1-2 between
Yes.
Adingra and
Okay.
Haller. Yeah.
Yes. And in between the center backs, there was an Ivorian striker who tried to control the ball. Do you guys remember?
Oh, oh.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I think I found something here. Okay.
And he touched the ball. By the time he touched the ball, Pepe was offside. I want you guys to go review that.
Okay. That's
I
homework for
want,
me. I think I'll go
yes.
look because I'm always trying to figure out if the refs did
Yeah.
the right
Because
thing.
when I was watching, in my mind I said offside, but
Hmm.
VAR did not check that incident. And I've heard some Senegalese complain about it because they'll find anything to make big noise about it. But when I was watching, that was one of the incidents. As soon as the guy touched the ball and he could not control it, Pepe was offside.
Okay. All right. That's noted. I just jotted something down in my notes here. I'm definitely going to look this up. I'm always interested in how the refs do because I believe that so many times refs have influenced games and actually stopped folks from progressing and winning tournaments. And this time around, I don't see it doesn't seem and it has always been because I thought in the back of my mind there's some sort of agenda to make sure that certain people continue winning this tournament, right? But this time around, it doesn't feel that way. It's been almost fair and equitable to a fault, and to the point that it's actually surprising when you hear some teams like Angola, no Algeria, sorry, complain about the ref and the VAR decisions and
They do
on
that.
things that we believe are so clear to us because we all saw it.
Senegal
Now,
complained.
what was that?
Senegal
Senegal
complained
complained about the Ivory Coast about the foul, but
about
okay, yeah,
about the
I'll
referee.
look that up. I'll look that up because I
About the
think
match in general, about the match.
about the game. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, they're way past that. But there's been some impressive referee milestones in this tournament. Females have actually come in and ref the game. There's actually a Cameroonian lines woman,
Woman, yeah. Mhm.
yeah, that's been involved, and it should be a good example to follow because I feel the Premier League, man, every time we talk about Premier League or European football, there's always conversations about VAR. This time around, we haven't spent as much time analyzing VAR decisions, so it's a good feeling for African football. I think it is, at least for the refereeing part. So gentlemen, tomorrow's games: Ivory Coast versus Mali, Cape Verde versus South Africa. Now, if Ivory Coast were to get past Mali, it could set up a final, well, and succeed to get past the next person. It could set up a final between Ivory Coast and Nigeria.
If
Those two already
Nigeria
met.
too pass them, if
If
Nigeria too
Nigeria
beats
gets
the next
past,
person, yeah.
well, yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
the way it is, looks like Nigeria is gonna make
Okay.
easy meal
No, there's no easy meal,
of
man.
them. But
There's
let's,
been no
yeah, there's
easy
no
meal
easy
this
meal
year.
here. Understood.
Mhm.
So South Africa or Cape Verde will face somebody between South Africa or Cape Verde will face Nigeria, and somebody between Mali and Cote d'Ivoire will face the DRC Congo,
Mhm.
DR Congo. Sorry.
Yeah.
What are your quick thoughts about that? Let's preview those games and then we can round it up. Mali versus Cote d'Ivoire. Who wants to go first? What do you think? Cote d'Ivoire getting
True
through on home advantage?
Lion, go first.
Yeah, I think although Mali poses a big threat to Cote d'Ivoire, but I think this Ivorian team, in order for Mali to beat them, Mali will need to play an almost perfect game because the Ivorian team is coming under new coaching. So Mali would always only have that game against Senegal to actually see what Ivory Coast is trying to do. However, if Mali goes and make this game physical, because if Cote d'Ivoire lines up the same people they played against Senegal, you have some old guys in that squad. And if Mali takes it physical and all that, they can disrupt Cote d'Ivoire. So this is gonna be a very tight game. List 12-man advantage for Ivory Coast. So I slightly favor Ivory Coast in this game, but watch out for Mali.
All right. What about you, Ajab? Do you
Ma-
feel
Mali is gonna beat Ivory Coast.
Mali? Yeah.
Yeah.
I I just want to point out Mali hasn't lost 9 games.
Don't even, they'll lose. They might lose the 10th game. No problem. My problem is that they
They
don't
haven't
beat Ivory
lost in
Coast. I'm
nine
not.
games.
I don't. I'm not even thinking about the past games. I'm just looking at the way I've watched Mali play and I've watched Ivory Coast play. I think Mali is gonna beat Ivory Coast. That's my prediction.
Okay. And the honeymoon phase where the new coach's influence, everything will be
Mhm.
done, right? I believe it's gone. All right, gentlemen. What about South Africa, Cape Verde? What do you guys think?
Woo!
South Africa is gonna beat Cape Verde.
Woo!
So much confidence in you there, Ajab.
No, no, no. It's not so much confidence. It's just my prediction. I think South Africa is gonna beat Cape Verde.
Yeah, I think South Africa has that experience in Bros. When I think about the coach, I don't want to bet against Hugo Bros, man. So I go South Africa, man. I don't want to
So
bet against
a
Hugo Bros.
start, a fun start for you guys. A fun start. The last 2 times Cape Verde met South Africa, Cape Verde has won those games.
Good,
Yep.
good.
So Cape Verde, do you want
Was
to
their coach was
reconsider?
their coach Hugo Bros?
Yeah.
No, even if it's with
No, their
Hugo
coach
Bros,
is not
man,
Hugo Bruce, but
this is
still.
something else.
No,
Even
I'm asking you, was their coach Hugo Bros?
no,
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 no, he
no,
wasn't.
it wasn't
Okay,
Hugo Bros. But
okay,
I don't
okay,
even have a problem. Even if it was
okay,
Hugo
okay.
Bros, no,
I
no
got, I
problem.
got, I got you on that one, bro. I
I
got
mean,
you on
I
that
know
one.
Hugo Bruce is a very good tactician. And yeah. I mean,
Did
when you
you
look
hear
at
what?
the head to heads, you
Did
just
you hear? Did you hear what Joseph Antoine Bell talked about Hugo Bros?
What did he say? I didn't hear
He
that.
said Cameroon disrespected Hugo Bros when Hugo Bros won the AFCON with Cameroon.
Afghan.
For the
Mm,
first time he participated, he won it with Cameroon. Cameroon disrespected Hugo Bros by not thanking him, by not even acknowledging him. And
yeah.
that's why Cameroon is struggling right now, because had Cameroon stayed with Hugo Bros, they would have built their football from then. But the
Um,
disrespect they showed on Hugo Bros is actually proving them wrong right now.
Daniel Amokachi talked about Hugo Bros when Hugo Bros became coach of Cameroon. Daniel Amokachi talked about Hugo Bros. That this is someone he doesn't know if this guy is not is an unfortunate guy or he's not a lucky guy because Hugo Bros coached him in the 90s. Hugo Bros coached him when he played for Club Brugge in Belgium. And Hugo Bros is a perfectionist. Like one of those coaches I would say, one of those coaches that wants you to put in 105% even if you're injured. Like he's that guy that pays attention to every details. Like he said, he called one Belgian guy who was very skilled. I forgot the name. He said, but he always wondered when he used to play ahead of that guy because they played the same position. And then when he said that, then I recalled. I said, okay, if you watch 2017, Hugo Bros preferred Nzip Tambe and Jacques Zoa. Is it what's his name? Zoa to
Yeah.
Benson Abubakar. So his problem is not only based on that skills. If you don't fit into how he wants his game to play, you're gonna sit on the bench. And that's what Daniel Mokachi talked about it in 2016 when Cameroon appointed him. And then things have been unfolded. Even in South Africa, you see the way South Africa is playing. He has his starting 11, eight guys play for Mamelodi Sundown. They feed into his tactics, and you have guys playing out of South Africa, and they sit on the bench and watch those guys play. So
Oh
let's wait and
yeah.
see what happens against Cape Verde tomorrow. Maybe we're over, maybe we're hyping him, but let's wait and see what happens. But
All right.
I see South
That's the
Africa
one that
winning.
got.
I see
Yeah.
South Africa beating Cape Verde and Mali beating Ivory Coast. That's how I look at it for
Okay.
tomorrow.
All right. So you guys have South Africa going through for sure, and Cote d'Ivoire. Well, Ajab, you said Mali would go through,
Yeah,
and then
Mali.
True Lion, was it Cote d'Ivoire going through?
Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay. All right, cool. We will reconvene tomorrow and take stock of what the games show us or provide for us as entertainment. But even before that, tomorrow's show, we will come tomorrow to talk about the state of Cameroonian football in depth. We will go over a few things. I think this is the point where 2lion is really excited, and I'm sure JC will not miss that rendezvous for sure. We will be talking about my man song again, JC.
And the way
Which,
forward, the way
and
forward.
then and it too, there's been there's something circulating now about how Jeremy Jitap was attacked or asked to leave the
Was disrespected.
dressing room,
Yeah.
amongst other things, and nearly pushed out or pulled out by security on the instructions of a tow, amongst other things. There's a lot that we will cover tomorrow, basically, in the state of Cameroonian football. So please tune in, join us so that we can have that entertaining or enthralling conversation, I should say. Um, Gentlemen, we are at the hour mark, so I want to ask you any parting words. Parting words. There's some comments I may not have gotten to. Sorry about that. Let's see. Kizito Njang, Nigeria played their best game so far in the tournament. They were more comfortable going up front, completed more passes, and had more chances on goal. True. JC, I've never been a fan of Osimen, but the guy is good. And like Ajab said, he seems to care more about Nigeria winning the AFCON than scoring his goals for personal gratification. Understood. Moses Simon was man of the match for me. Agreed. We verified that and it's validated. CAF chose him. Who rated Osimhen that high to cost 150 million? That's insane. That's the president of Napoli is the one who set that price. Even Harry Kane and Haaland no reached that money before now Osimhen. All right. I think Mali Cote d'Ivoire will be a firecracker for the second round. That's right. I am shocked. I am really shocked that 2lion didn't go for Cote d'Ivoire for Mali on this one because he selected Mali as his black horse, a dark horse in the beginning of the tournament. So I'm really shocked that he chose Cote d'Ivoire, tipping them. I don't know, maybe home advantage. Who knows? Um, I think the honeymoon phase of the new coach Fai is expired. He had his honeymoon game already. I think tomorrow the real thing starts happening, and Cote d'Ivoire will just fall back to its old self. And if Mali is mercurial, they're gonna take them apart easily, just like Equatorial
Sinayoko, watch out that guy. He plays for Auxerre. Sinayoko, the striker for
Yep,
Mali. We're going to
Mali.
talk about him tomorrow. Let's wait.
Yep,
Sinayoko.
just like Equatorial Guinea took apart
And
Cote d'Ivoire. I think
also the midfielder who plays for Leipzig, Haidara. Can you
mhm,
imagine that if Bissouma is not a starter for Mali,
for Mali,
a
yeah,
starter for
yeah,
Tottenham is not a starter for Mali? Let's wait and see
yeah.
what's going to happen tomorrow.
So it should be a fun game. It should be a
Yeah.
fun game. I can't wait to watch it. All right, that's it. Oh wait, there's one here. Haha, Nico. Can't miss any episodes, especially when Song will be in the spotlight. Thank you. It should be a fun watch. It should be a fun watch.
Yeah, tell them.
Comments from Facebook. Let's see.
You should have
Uh,
tell them what time it starts now.
yeah. It starts at 10 a.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah, so
10
before
a.m.
2 hours before the game.
2 hours before the games. Yeah, 2 hours before the first game. All right. Kizito Njang, I'm one of your ardent viewers, but how come I only get notification? Okay, we already talked about this. We'll figure that out, Kizito. We'll check back with you and see how we can set up some type of alerting for you. I think it's safe to say Nigeria is looking like a tournament favorite. Nigeria is a solid side. The two sitting midfielders are not just ball carriers, but CMs also who run at their opponents. It's actually fascinating to watch. That's right. I think I pointed this out in their very first game. It was shocking to me to see he will be playing that deep.
Oh,
But it is
the
also
first game
strategy, and
is
Veteran knows what he's doing, right?
the
So
first game. The first game Nigeria played Equatorial Guinea, they used three center midfielders. They had Yusuf, Alassane Yusuf, Iwobi, and Onyeka. So when he moved now to a three in the back, and sometimes Alassane Yusuf was injured after Equatorial Guinea game. So you don't know, maybe it's the injury to Alassane Yusuf that made him to switch to a back three. You never know. But and
okay,
then it's been working for them. Now they have
it's
Onyeka
worked
and
out. Yeah,
Iwobi who are playing like they've never played before this way, man. So
that's right. All right, Kizitonjang Bianda. My best player so far for Nigeria has been Ola Aina. His
yeah,
touches are mesmerizing, and he's imposed himself perfectly
yeah.
on the defensive line. Amazing. He did not touch the ball. I'm not sure. Ta Ade, I'm not sure what you're referring to there,
No,
but
he's talking about. Remember, I said
About the
the
Ivorian guy, yeah,
African
because
oh, the
striker.
Ivorian. Okay, the one that VAR missed. You said,
mhm,
yeah.
Yeah, because I strongly believe that he touched that ball, and if he
no,
touched that ball,
I
it
don't think
means
he touched.
Pepe was offside because the
Okay,
ball
all
slowed
right.
down. The ball slowed
Let's
down.
find a video. Let's find a video
Yeah.
and see if we can do something over it.
No, today now,
No,
No, not now, not now. I'm just
no,
saying
no,
he's
we
because
watching
should
that
find the
right now.
video and analyze it. Of course,
yeah, yeah,
it would
yeah.
require us to put the video up and do all that analysis on it. Wait, I think we're losing you there. I'm not hearing what you're saying, True Lion.
No, I wasn't saying now. I was saying
Okay,
that yeah. We can do that later because I mean that's another topic of its own. Because if
on
he
its own,
touched that
yeah.
ball, I could not
Okay,
view from the angle I was watching, but the ball, I believe that ball slowed down. And if that ball slowed down, it means he actually touched it. And
touched
if he
it.
touched it, Pepe is outside.
Okay, all right. Well, if you didn't really see it, we can't really say
Well,
VAR made a mistake.
well, guess what?
All right.
Guess what? I have another football mind thinking like me. He's telling me that he did not touch the ball. So he must have
We'll see
seen
how
it
that goes. Yeah,
before and
we'll
so
agreed. All right. Next is Mbala Fiseng Fabrice. Bell is loudmouth. Bruce was becoming very disrespectful of Cameroon. He's just a lucky fella. What? He likes the underdog position. When he meets a team that defends and he has to create, he is weak. Okay, that could be a
No,
good point though, but we'll
no,
see.
it's
I
okay,
deny.
True Lion, it's okay.
No, I can deny with him. I can have that conversation. How can you say Bell is a loudmouth when Bell
Yeah, of course, but you know what? Yeah, when someone makes the statement about Ben being a loudmouth, you know where they're heading to.
No, but of course, but I cannot let it stand, right?
Okay,
Bell is
that's
not a loudmouth because
okay.
for TFN Radio, he's an analyst who has been there for over 30, 40 plus years. So if you say Bell is a loudmouth and you don't have any backing to give that, I will actually call it out now. I'll call it out. Bell is not a
Yeah,
loudmouth.
that's true. Being
Yeah.
being dismissive of him and all what he has done for Cameroon is not necessary.
Not
Let's
only
make the
that,
point.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
not
live with
only
it,
that,
man.
the
Yep.
job he does as an analyst for the
Mhm.
past 40 years, 40 plus 50 years, we have to respect that. So he's not a loudmouth.
Agreed. Agreed. I think we lost your audio there.
Oh, did you? I stop talking.
Oh, sorry. All
Oh,
right. All right. I thought you were still talking. Okay. Last comment there. Mali will lose. They have too many young players. Whoa. When has that ever been an issue? They lack experience. Under pressure, I expect they expect them to crack. Okay, that's actually a good point.
They've
But
not
I'm not too
actually.
sure.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. That youth is actually something that Cameroon lacked. I think if we had a little more youth in our midfield, we would have done some crazy stuff there.
Well, let's wait.
Uh,
well,
Let-
song said,
let's wait
song
and
said,
see.
song said the team is young.
Not at all. All right, gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen of our audience. Thank you so very much for watching. We'll leave you with some parting words, right? True Lion, as always, anything for viewers to take home?
Well, yeah, today I was actually impressed by Angola, even though they lost to a very convincing Nigeria. I think Nigeria's biggest, strongest link is actually Pesera, their coach. He has actually discovered a way that Nigeria can play and build from a defensive point of view because defense wins championship. And I believe he's taking it something about these Portuguese managers. Like remember what's his name? Portugal won the Euros
Mm-hmm.
by from a defensive position.
Santos, yeah, Santos.
Santos, yeah,
Yeah.
Santos won the Euros from a defensive position. Now we see another Portuguese coming and taking a team that was all offense, and switching out to defense. And it seems as if Nigeria is actually on a good path of winning the African Nations Cup from a defensive point of view. Who knows? Defense wins championships. Let's
Yeah.
watch and see.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you, True Lion. Ajab, what can our
Yeah,
guests take home with them
I just
today?
have two things. The first thing I want to, like I always do, I thank everybody who's been watching, who's subscribed, who's been following us on YouTube and all that. And please just keep doing like what you've been doing. Always tag a friend to tag another friend. Share with as many people as you can to share with many people as they can. And the second thing I wanted to say is that I want us, like everyone, when you watch football, let's not focus on how, like I mentioned already, sometimes the team you expect to win, they don't win, and you said they messed up. Instead of saying that the opponents played really well. So let's also look at that part of football, like when a team wins, look at how the winning team played, not only how the losing team played, because maybe your expectations they played below your expectations. Sometimes it could be Nigeria who prevented Angola from playing the way they used to play. So thumbs up to Nigeria instead of saying Angola didn't play well, or maybe Morocco didn't play well. South Africa prevented Morocco from playing their usual football. So it's South Africa who excelled and not Nigeria who and not Morocco who messed up. So I want us to look at it that way. Not always the case like that people mess. Instead of saying oh the opponents played well. So let's look at it that way.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ajab. Thank you. I really don't have parting words except thank you guys so much for joining and tuning in. Really, really appreciate you guys as always. And I'm gonna leave you guys with the song, but I want you guys to remember tomorrow. Come back in. Let's talk. All eyes fixed on the football trio as we talk AFCON. We talk Cameroon football. We talk about everything and anything that's football related to our circumstance right now. Right. So thank you guys again. Have a good rest of your night. Bye for now. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Tomorrow 10 a.m.